Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value, and today we are going to look at gold and silver, do some technical analysis. I'm going to show you some different things that I'm looking at in the charts when I chart these things out, and why I still have somewhat of a bearish tone on it. I'll show you the candlesticks I'm looking at, I'll show you the specific ones, the patterns that were created, and why I think we may have more consolidation in front of us. So let's jump in. We'll take a look at the gold and silver charts. And again, I'm a gold and silver bull on the long term. This is just short-term analysis. So I'm looking at gold here. You could say even this blue line here, you could put it here. But you can see these big, large down moves all through here, the big down candlesticks with the smaller up candlesticks. And see how they all kind of come up with the wicks at the top here? Two big down moves. 1, 2, 3, 4 up moves inside of these two large down moves. Well, it's 3 days, but it's the two big moves going down. The momentum's still going to the downside. And that's why I am bearish when I see these patterns. I become more bullish when I start to see lots of large up days and small down days, like this blue line to the bottom here. This was a nice big move higher. Notice the candlesticks have large white body candlesticks moving up and small red candlesticks coming back down. We are in an up impulse move higher. The blue line to the right-hand side, I don't see these large white candlesticks anymore. They're mainly large down days. It struggled to come back up. I'm like, oh, we're going to get hit. Bearish engulfing on this day right here. And then we head lower. I'm seeing if the buyers step in here. I still see these small little candlesticks, which is a positive development. They're white candlesticks. The volume, it's kind of normal. But I'm seeing if the buyers step in before I add any more money. Again, I already have established positions. I'm not selling out. I'm just riding this stuff through. But gold and the way it looks, it could potentially pull back some more, but at least the momentum's getting worked off over here. So it is looking a little bit better. I want to see the buyer step in and push this thing higher and close strong. I want to see a large white candlestick, kind of like this guy here. Here is silver. I've got the red arrows at these large down days. I do think it's being manipulated. To have a sell-off this large and the momentum to just stay there, and then another large sell-off and the momentum stay there, that is so rare. What you see is a sell-off where you've got some momentum coming behind it. But if you look at the overall area on this right-hand side past 2021, all I see are large down candlesticks. There's not many up, large, big up candlestick days. And what that signifies is that the sellers or someone is selling the heck out of this whenever it reaches these red candlesticks. Big sell-off, big sell-off. The sell-offs are much larger than the up moves. I'm not seeing these big, powerful moves to the upside anywhere in 2021, really. You've got 1, 2, 3 days there, 4 day there. We've got like 4 days. And then the down days that are big and powerful days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And the reason I'm looking at this from a bearish perspective is because of all those large candlestick down days sprinkled in here. Usually what that means is it's a top, but it makes no sense. There's no follow through after this. There's no momentum after these large candlesticks. It's like it's being manipulated, which then it's a bunch of garbage thrown in this chart here. It makes it a little bit more difficult to read. Now here's platinum. Platinum, we came up and we squeezed up into this pattern here and broke to the downside. Now we're in a consolidation mode. We need the momentum to get worked off to the downside. This right here just doesn't turn and go higher. It takes some time to work its way out, to straighten itself out, to create a base to launch higher from. There's no base to launch here. We just fell off this kind of cliff over here. Large, big candlestick down days, small up days. Big 2 down days, small up days. I still think this is going to head to the downside. the momentum and the power is to the downside, not the upside. And that deals with the candlestick body lengths on the downside and the small ones going up. The buyers just don't have the strength that the sellers do. Hence, it's going to go down, I think. Still more pullback. Same with GDX. Right where I've got the arrow there, it's the sellers are all game. This is a game of sellers past, June 14th. All sellers over here. Buyers haven't stepped in. They haven't put any significant large up candlestick days in here. The momentum's to the downside. The sellers are winning. And if this is all the buyers can muster right here with these little black up days, I still think we could see downside pressure. Here's Golddx J, the juniors. And again, inside this red box, the sellers are everywhere in here. Look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 up days since June 13th or 13th or so, 13th, 14th. This is a seller's party over here right now. No materialistic buying has happened. So I'm going to go with the trend, which is lower. SILJ, same thing. At least we're putting a little wick at the bottom. At least the buyers are trying to fight back. But inside this box here, it's a bunch of sellers. There's hardly any buyers in here. These black candlesticks are not. They're not getting me excited at all. They're teeny ones, teeny little up days. Here's Anglo gold Ashanti. This thing looks not good at all. We broke to the downside of this, almost a neckline of a shoulder, head, shoulder. I mean, are we setting up to go a lot further down? Maybe. Here's Discovery Silver. We were kind of squeezing up here. I thought we were breaking to the upside here. Everything looked good. And then we just have huge sell-off in here. Look at all these red down days. What the heck's going on here? The conditions, so the thing that gets me the most confused, we've got all these things here, right? The underlying market conditions behind this is pro gold and silver. Real negative rates. Inflation. Gold goes up with inflation. It really does. It goes up with real negative rates. If you have greater amounts of inflation, you are getting a greater real negative rate. You're either declining in your real rate or it's becoming a greater real negative rate. But it's going downward, which is a tailwind to gold and silver in history. But apparently, that tailwind is not working at the moment. The conditions are all there. We've had massive inflation. We've got interest rates which are not going up, which means we have greater real negative rates. This is a tailwind for gold, and gold should be going higher. Same with silver, and a lot of those types of precious metals investments. So what am I doing? I'm doing nothing. I'm just sitting in these companies. I'm not going to do anything. The housing market is still strong. I see nothing wrong with the housing market. And that's where inflation comes from. If we have greater rates of inflation and we don't have yields going higher in terms of the 10-year treasury bonds, then this should be moving on higher. But all I see are red days for like the past couple of weeks. Pretty crazy how many large candlestick down days we've had, especially in this environment. Now, if this is being manipulated, I don't know if it is, but let's say it is, then we should be running to gold and silver because they are trying to prevent, or they are wanting people to not go to this sector for a reason, for whatever reasons they have, if it is being manipulated. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.